Hello and welcome to Music to be Murdered By on Radio Depaul, Chicago's College Connection. I'm Kieran Bell, your host, and this week we are starting back up in the 1980s again, but we're starting up in 1986. Tonight we actually have some lyrical songs. I don't think I've featured many lyrical songs on this show. Just thought you want to know. So let's get right into it. Starting at 1986, we'll hear a track from one of my favorite films. I know I say that a lot. I know I'm like, oh my god, this is my favorite. But I promise, this is like actually a favorite. Like, it's in my Letterboxd top 4. It's actually a favorite. So anyways, one of my favorite films, Night at the Creeps, from 1986. And the track is called Nightmares by C-Spot Run. And then we'll hear a track from the film Manhunter, which is based off Red Dragon from like the Thomas Harris Hannibal series. It's a good movie. I can't tell you how accurate it is to the book, but it's a good movie. And then to finish off, we'll have a song from Psycho 3, because yes, there are 2 sequels to Psycho. But this one was directed by Anthony Perkins, so I don't know, I guess that's like a little bit better than just some rando doing it. But yeah, so this is C-Spot Run with Nightmares.
What's been happening to me? You're the one that falls through.
Okay, welcome back to Music to be Murdered by on Radio Depaul. I am your host, Kieran Bell, and we just heard 3 tracks from the 1986 films Night of the Creeps, Manhunter, and Psycho 3. So we're going to move on to 1987 with 3 more tracks. First, we're going to hear the iconic Gerard McMahon song Cry Little Sister, which was written for the film The Lost Boys. And then we'll hear the theme from the John Carpenter film Prince of Darkness, which was also composed by John Carpenter. And then to finish it off, we'll hear a track from the Arnold Schwarzenegger film Predator. So this is Cry Little Sister. right, welcome back to Music to be Murdered by on Radio Depaul. I am your host, Kieran Bell, and we just heard 3 tracks from the 1987 films The Lost Boys, Prince of Darkness, and Predator. Usually, this is about the Predator track, usually I don't traditionally like traditional film scores that are like orchestral, but I feel like the fact that they integrated like sort of synths into the Predator one, I like it. But that's just me. There's something about orchestral film scores that I'm like falling asleep. Anyways, so for 1988, I actually have 5 tracks. It's a lot. But I'll play you 2, and then we'll go on a break and come back and do the next 3. So first we have the theme from the movie Child's Play, which was actually filmed here in Chicago. And not to like location drop myself, but I live next to the police station they use in the movie. I just find that cool. And when I found out that there was openings in the apartment building, I was like, dang, maybe I need to move right now. Anyways, and then the second track from 1988 that we'll hear is from the Frank Henenlotter film Brain Damage, which this is a song by the Swimming Pool Cues. It wasn't written for the movie, but it is in the movie. And the Swimming Pool Cues are in the movie as well, like, they perform in the movie. But it's a great song, and even if it wasn't written for the movie, I couldn't resist, because I love the song. Alright, so this is the theme from Child's Play. All right, welcome back to Music to be Murdered By on Radio Depaul. I am your host, Kieran Bell. And before our break, we heard two songs from the 1988 film Child's Play and Brain Damage. So we're going to stay in 1988, and I have three more tracks for you. The first one is from the Tim Burton film Beetlejuice, and this is composed by the incredible Danny Elfman. I can never get enough of his work. You know, both Oingo Boingo and his film scores, always great. And then we'll hear the theme to the film Killer Clowns from Outer Space, written by the punk band The Dickies. This is one of my favorite film theme songs because it's just so fun, and it's something you wouldn't expect for like a sci-fi film, even though it is kind of like a sci-fi comedy, like ironic, I guess. Anyways, and then we will finish off 1988 with a film. With a song from the film Return of the Living Dead 2, which is a punk zombie film, and there are 3 installments in that series, I believe, but the music in all of them is great. It's punk. So, we're going to start off 1988 with a track from Beetlejuice.
Daylight come and we want to go.
the human race. Time to take a ride on the nightmare merry-go-round. You'll be dead on arrival from the nights of the killer clown. From outer space, killer clown, wow, 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 ooh. From outer space, there's cotton candy in their hands. There's a bucket on the dam with the stock, a jacaranda, they're all diabolical, oh no. Times Square, Parliament, lady, everywhere. If you've ever wondered why the population goes down, blame it on the thunder from the likes of the killer clown. From outer space, killer clown, wow, 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 ooh. From outer space, killer clown. Like a part-time thriller, no class, bad manners, acting like a stone Godzilla. But baby, they're full-time killers. It's gonna be wild tonight. Flash to flash and bite to bite. It's gonna be wild tonight. I can feel it coming. It's gonna be wild tonight. Could be the strangest night. Tonight, building up appetite. Tonight, I feel we gotta run, gotta evil smiles on graveyard faces, all dressed to kill. They got no mercy and no limitations in finding a perfect thrill. It looks like they probably will. It's gonna be wild tonight. Flash to flash and bite to bite. It's gonna be wild tonight. I can feel it coming. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild tonight. Flash to flash and bite to bite. It's gonna be wild tonight. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's gonna be wild tonight. Flash to flash and bite to bite. 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 Flash to flash and bite to bite.
All right, welcome back to Music to be Murdered by on Radio Depaul. I am Kieran Bell, and we just finished 1988 with 3 tracks from the films Beetlejuice, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and Return of the Living Dead 2. One thing I really like about all of those films is the practical effects they use in them. With Beetlejuice, they have the stop motion, which is really cool. But I think Killer Clowns from Outer Space is really unique because it was made by the Chiodo brothers, and they didn't make movies before they did Killer Clowns from Outer Space. They were special effects artists, and they were like, hey, let's see how much we can do with special effects, and that's how they made Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which I find really interesting because it's just a movie to flex. Anyways, we're gonna finish off the night with 1989, and I only have one track for 1989, but it's a long one, so that's why. So it's from the 1989 Japanese experimental, industrial film, Tetsuo the Iron Man. This track is, definitely on the experimental side, obviously to go along with the movie. But if you want to get into experimental horror, or if you want, just a suggestion for more, I would definitely recommend Tetsuo, because it's just, so insane, but in, the most beautiful way possible. That's, the only way I can describe it. It's so good. I would highly recommend it. But anyways, this is Megatron from Tetsuo the Iron Man. All right, thank you so much for listening to Music to be Murdered By on Radio Depaul. I'm Kieran Bell, and next week we will be back with the 1990s of horror. Again, thank you for listening, and have a good night.